fantastic Father's Day. The time is 10:10 a.m. The date is Monday, June 22nd. The year is 2020. The City of East Cleveland Special Council, the City of East Cleveland Special Council meeting is now called to order via Zoom. Dr. Guy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilor Austin.
Present.
Councilor Stevenson.
Present.
Councilor Martin.
Present.
Councilor Smith.
Present.
Councilor Gowdy is absent. We have our Law Director, Willa Hemmons, on the line of duty. Our Mayor King. And I think I saw, okay, Charles Houlihan, Director of Finance, is on the line. And I believe the Chief of Staff.
Thank you, Dr. Guy. Again, happy belated Father's Day to everyone. Next we have, and thank you for joining us on this special meeting. We do realize that Mondays and it's not a typical day that we have meetings on or a morning, so really want to thank everyone for joining. Next we have remarks on agenda items only, 2 minutes if you have any of our great residents online. Hearing none, we move on to legislation. Resolution number 13-20 was withdrawn from the administration last week. So that's not supposed to be on there.
Okay.
Mr. President, it seems we have two agendas.
Do we? Because I don't know.
Yes.
It's possible. Because I'm reading from it says updated agenda that was in the email.
If I can interject with Ms. Stevenson, I'm in the council office right now and I got the special council meeting agenda in my box. It's got ordinance 2020 and resolution 1620. Those are the only pieces of legislation on this special council meeting. That's what I have.
Can I interject?
So there's another agenda.
Where's the other agenda at?
Dr. Guy?
You should be looking at it on your screen.
Yeah, I don't have 13 and 20 on this sheet of paper. I just got out of my box.
Exactly. I updated it this weekend based on the emails I received that everyone wanted, or the Councilor Austin changed his to emergencies based because you all are going on break in July, starting in July. So you all have the power to change it, you know. So I put every piece of legislation that were either second reads or changed to an emergency on today. I did that on
Dr. Guy, when did you make that change? Because it's not on this piece of paper in my office. I just got out my box.
I know, Counselor. I did that on Saturday.
Oh.
You also sent it via email. Sent the updates on the email.
Oh,
I also updated on the website. You can always check the website.
so which agenda are we using?
The one that's on the screen right now.
Okay, well, I'm confused because we can't have two agendas.
Not two agendas, it's one.
All of this?
Agenda.
Hold on one second. Hello? Willie Him is down here with me. I got 2016, 2020.
This is two agendas. Because the one
1320,
agenda
where's the body of
has 1320 and it has 1620 and 2020 on it.
Where's the legislation for 1320? It's not here.
It's on the screen.
Huh? It's not supposed to be on? Hold it, Willie, before you go. Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come here. Willie Him is in the office with me. 1320 is not supposed to be on this agenda.
Right, he just said that.
Yes, sir. I just said that, sir.
Okay, so we just got the two pieces of legislation, is that it?
No, sir. We have other legislation that was moved to emergency because we are on vacation
Just scratch that one and then.
for 2 months.
The 1320's on here too. Wait a minute, see? Right
No,
there.
that's an ordinance. That's a resolution.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
go back upstairs.
All right.
Okay, just call me if you need me.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
For the record, resolution 1320 is being removed.
Good. So next we have resolution number 14-20. Dr. Guy, please.
Resolution number 14-20 is an emergency. A resolution authorizing the mayor to sell certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction to scrap dealers or to sell complete lot salvage city vehicles through competitive bidding and declaring an emergency for public health, safety, and welfare. Requested by the police department, sponsored by Corinne C. Stevenson, council vice president.
Resolution number 14-20 bears the name of our council vice president. What is your pleasure?
Well, I haven't seen any information on this, so at this time, I don't have a pleasure.
And my question in relation to the legislation, objectively, why is getting rid of some equipment an emergency? That's my question. I'm listening for a response, please.
Mr.
If I may,
Mayor?
I can respond to that, Council President.
Yes. No,
Thank
Mr.
you
Mayor?
all for having this meeting here today and entertaining these as emergencies. And we know that council is not scheduled to meet over the next 2 months. And this scrap vehicle is something that we've been working on for a couple months now, trying to get the departments to cough up some of these vehicles and this equipment that's not working, as well as some of the equipment, some of the cars in particular that were in accidents, and then you had to get a release through the court to make sure you can get rid of it. There's no more court cases. So we know you're not meeting. We wanted to get the ability to move these things over the next 2 months as we begin to clear parking spaces for city council and begin to clear some of the other lots and vehicles. As a matter of fact, your signs came in. Now we'll look to clean up that back parking lot, move cars around, scrap these cars and vehicles that need to be scrapped, get these up so that when you guys return back to work in 2 months, you'll have your spaces as agreed upon. We'll be ready to go.
But we didn't agree to that, Mr. Mayor.
We didn't agree to what?
We didn't agree to your timeline that you just stated. We agreed, you stated that you were going to have the parking space situation completed in a month. Now we're off to 2 months.
So let me apologize. I was waiting on the signs. We have the signs in. I'm gonna now clean up back against that fence. We'll begin to move these signs around. It won't take 2 months to get it done. I was saying that because I know you guys aren't due back for 2 months. So assuming that you don't come back for 2 months, this will be ready by the time you get back. But I look to have this done at least by the end of this month. What's today? Yeah, at least by the end of this month. Have these up.
Well, just for your information, everyone, we'll be back the third Tuesday in July and the third Tuesday in August. So we will be back by law, the third Tuesday in July, the third Tuesday in August. I just don't have this is basic stuff, getting rid of this equipment, but I don't have a list in front of me, Mayor, on what the equipment is. All I have is the resolution 1420, I don't have any background stuff to see what it is.
Well, we sent down the list of vehicles last week or the week before. We sent down the list of vehicles. Now, according to the law director, per the charter, she's looking it up now, per the charter, you guys are not due back until September.
That's not true.
Unless you have special.
That's not true.
She's looking it up in the charter now. And
She can look up in the charter, but we have always met, and you probably don't remember this, we've always met the third Tuesday in July, once, and the third Tuesday in August. We've been doing that. That's been going on forever.
It is always council's prerogative to meet. You can meet. All I'm saying is the charter says that you're not scheduled to meet per the charter. That's all we're saying.
Well, let her read that because that's how we've been doing it for years. Okay. Except for if we call a special council meeting, but all I can tell you is maybe we've been doing it wrong. We've always met the third Tuesday in July and the third Tuesday in August. So let's have her check it out. That's how we've always done it.
Yeah. So nonetheless, we'll have the signs up by the end of the month.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
guys be ready to go.
Now, my question is, us passing this equipment expedites the situation, Brandon? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it will help me clean out some of those parking spaces in the back as we now are going to move certain employees around. So I need to make room for them closer to the front, so I need to move these things to the back. Plus, we have some vehicles over at the fire on Shaw. There's some over on Eddy Road that they're scrapped. They just need to be gone. And as we look to get rid of them, we may not get rid of them tomorrow, but I'm hoping to get rid of them by the time you guys are back in session, so we don't have to have another call meeting just to get rid of them.
Well, I'm all right with this because it's not that important. But I like for my education for the law director at the end of the meeting, and I'll go upstairs to confirm that are we legally allowed to meet once in July the third Tuesday and once in August the third Tuesday, or we've been doing this thing wrong for 30 years. So I need to know that.
She's got it. She's got it ready.
Okay.
Can I, Dr. Guy, I know you sent the list, but I don't know when it was sent, so I can't locate it. Do you recall when you sent this list?
List of what?
The salvage cars from the mayor.
The list of cars, the only thing I have is the list that's on the legislation.
No, we got something. Or maybe Willis sent it.
Right.
Okay, do you have it?
Oh, yes.
Director Hemmings, can you just tell us what's
Tell
going on?
her I'll go up there at the end of the meeting and get it. Okay.
But that's not gonna help me at
Right.
this time.
Okay. All right.
I'll
Go
be
down
there.
and read your email.
Okay, as soon as I finish, it's, you want, section 103.01, meetings notice to the public. A, pursuant to section 102 of the charter, at 7:30 p.m. on the second day of January following the regular municipal election, or if Thursday be a Sunday, on the day following, the council shall meet at the City Hall auditorium, hereinafter referred to as council chambers at City Hall. Of course, that was modified by the General Assembly of Ohio due to COVID-19 for the purpose of organization. Otherwise, regular public meetings of council shall be held in the council chambers at 6:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of each month, except during the months of July and August, wherein meetings shall be scheduled as provided by rule adopted by resolution. So if you have a special meeting, then that's perfectly okay. I'll go and resend the list.
Okay. Well, thank you. She's gonna get that list back out to you.
I
Willie
think
Hemmings,
I
when
found it.
Oh, you
What?
found
Found the list? Excellent.
Yeah, I found it, I think. Let me see what opens.
We have them in a group, you know, get all the time, and then we can take that over.
Okay. This is a, is this what you sent? Director Hammond, this is a, invoice.
She's going back to resend the list,
Okay,
to all 5 councils.
because this is an invoice for a lawnmower. Mr. President, you want to move on while she does that?
Whatever makes you comfortable.
I'm good. I mean, I just need to see what's on that list. We can move on until she gets that.
Like, as in move on to the next legislation or move on with this
Yeah.
one?
The next legislation.
Right, I just found it.
But we have the Captain Gardner on the line as well.
Chief Gardner is on the call, but it seems he appears to be muted.
So I have a couple different lists. Yeah. There's a ton of stuff on here. 2010. So we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll okay.
Does anyone want to make a motion to skipping and come back to resolution 14-20 and move on?
I'm ready to act on 1420 if there's no unreadiness from the other council people.
Okay.
We don't
Is there
have
any
the
other
list.
unreadiness?
I need a list.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Councilor Stevenson, when you say list, do you just need the make and model of the vehicles?
Well, I don't know if it's what it is. I don't know if it's vehicles. I don't know what it is.
They're listed inside of the legislation. That's the only list that I have. The 2001 Ford Police CBI and the serial number, the unknown Ford Police CBI with that serial number, and then the 2003 Crown Victoria.
Councilman, I apologize if you were talking to me. We had a shooting of an 8-year-old yesterday, and I've been on the phone with the prosecutor. Did you have a question for me? I apologize.
Councilor Stevenson has requested a list of the vehicles that are being sold or scrapped. We only have the list that's inside the legislation, but no additional information.
You have a list, do you have a list for resolution 1420 and resolution 1520?
All the cars that we're trying to scrap, if that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
I have a list that I can send you.
Yeah, because all I keep getting is I don't know what this is. This is a
Is that Shannon?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm downstairs in the council office, and I know Kareem Stevenson wants to see the list. Can you have someone bring me the list down here, please?
Right now, yeah, give me a few seconds. I'll be right down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can put it on the screen? Because what I'm getting is a lawnmower. I keep getting a lawnmower. I don't have a list of automobiles.
Yeah, that's the next piece of legislation.
What did you say, Dr. Guy?
That's the next piece of legislation. 15-20, lawnmower. We did get legislation for that, but we didn't get anything for the cars.
But this says city vehicles.
I just received a list in the voice in the email for police vehicles.
What email did you get?
It was just sent by Director Hemmings. Three police vehicles, 2001 Ford Police CVI, 2 unknown Ford Police, and 3 a Crown Victoria.
No, all I got is a lawnmower. I don't have any of that.
Brother President, can you forward that to me also, please?
Yeah. Oh, and here's the lawnmower. Let me. Okay. Forward.
Hi, thank you. This is it?
So here is the list.
Okay.
So the top 4 are the ones that are back in the parking lot that I want to try and scrap first.
Okay, this one, and this one?
Correct.
Okay, now these.
So all of these are still in service. These 2, I think we are gonna keep to try and take some parts off.
Mhm.
But essentially, I'm just gonna keep up. And then all the ones that are like highlighted darker are the ones we're using right now. So those.
So they're okay.
Yes. So I'm
So
only trying
this-
to scrap the 4 right for now.
Is that what's on here? You see the legislation 1420. You see, this is
Yes.
confusing. The 1520.
Well, I didn't know why there was 2 because
Yes.
I know when I asked Willa, it was. I just told her I'm just trying to scrap the cars in the parking lot to make more space.
Okay.
And then once everything was back in session, then I was like, okay, we'll try to get more later, at like a later date. But I know the mayor was trying to make space in the parking lot.
Okay, so these definitely gotta go. This is
Yes.
This is free 4 spaces at least, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Does that help?
that helps me, but the Corrine Stevenson.
The chief is gonna send. He scanned it and is emailing it to everybody,
Oh, okay.
including
Alright.
Corinne. But I know you wanted to.
It should come up on my phone, then, huh?
Okay. Do you need anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, and that Courtney DeLong and asked Gardner when we just set up the meetings, we're gonna meet every month. So,
Whenever you want to. So do you still have my card?
at home.
Or I mean, if you have a date and time, just tell me and I'll put you on the schedule. Whatever works best for you. I
Okay.
don't know if you want to meet sooner rather than later.
Sooner.
Whatever works for you.
I'm looking at maybe,
Vice
what's the name?
President?
Monday.
Maybe Wednesday. See how it looks Wednesday
It's
morning.
empty.
Empty?
Yes, I have a meeting at 10:30 with one of the officers. But other than that, it's open.
Okay. I'll call you then.
That
Okay, all right.
works.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, hello? Hello?
There's the list of 4. There's the list.
I have in front of me right now.
I got it up on the screen. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's upside down on the screen, on my screen anyway. Turn it the other way. It's sideways on my screen. But I have the list in front of me, and I see we're getting rid of a 2002 Ford Police Civic, a 2001 Ford Civic, an unknown Ford Police Civic, and a 2003 Police, I guess it's a CVI, so that's Civic, I guess. Those are the spaces that you talked about, freeing, Brandon?
Yes.
All right, I'm okay with that, especially if you guys want these spaces. I mean, this is it's basic. I just wanted to see what we're getting rid of. But what I'm not sure about, what's the difference between Resolution 1420 and Resolution 1520? That's I'm not sure about. What's the difference?
I think one of them has the service vehicle, the 2 lawnmowers on there.
Oh, okay. Well, if Corinne is ready, if she's looking at it, I'll second it or sponsor or co-sponsor, whatever. Let's move on. This is minor.
Well, we need to move on. We do need to move on, but I still don't have a list. So
They said they're sending the list to you right now.
It's up on the screen, Council.
I'm looking at the list on my screen right now. It's on the screen.
okay, but this list got a 2020 Chevy Tahoe on it.
The first, Corinne, the first 4 are the ones in question. She's telling me the other, they're going to keep the other vehicles. Is that my understanding, Brandon? On this list?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, the list I have in front of me has 4 vehicles on it. The 4 you just described.
Those are the 4 at the top. And then the other ones.
2003, 2011.
Okay.
And the chief just gave me a thumbs up, so I'm assuming that's it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, Mayor, it's the top 4 that are listed on that sheet, the top 4.
Okay, so we need to make a modification to the legislation, because on the legislation, there's only 3.
No, the legislation only has 4 listed.
The
Only
legislation
4
don't have
listed on the
nothing.
legislation.
There's nothing listed on the legislation.
Right. There's nothing listed on the legislation, that's for sure.
Right.
Where the first whereas, the make and model, you don't see that?
Probably not listed on the agenda or on the legislation.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda listed, but on the actual resolution, it is listed. The 4 of them on here.
So we just need to add the 4th one.
Hey, what now, Guy?
3 listed inside of the legislation.
Well, where is the legislation? How about,
So you need to, we just
on,
need to
this is
modify.
getting ridiculous.
Everybody received a hard copy of the legislation and was emailed.
The legislation I have lists 2 riding lawnmowers. You got that?
No, you're on resolution.
That's 1520.
Right, but that's what I keep getting. I keep getting stuff for lawnmowers.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it. You have the other legislation.
I don't have 1520 here. I got 16, 20, and 2020. I don't have 1520.
Okay, I see it. So we need, like Dr. Guy said, we need to add 1 more vehicle to this list and we can move forward however we need to do that.
This is what you all have. And it just lists the 3 pieces of 3 vehicles.
Yeah,
Right.
so can we just add the 4th vehicle on?
I'd like to make a motion that we add the 4th vehicle to the existing legislation.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Councilman Austin,
Yay.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Martin,
Yay,
Counselor Martin, Counselor Smith,
yay.
Counselor Smith.
Yay.
Okay, the motion to modify and add that fourth vehicle to this legislation resolution number 14-20 will be added. Now, in the motion to move the legislation forward.
Thank you. Yes.
I move, is this legislation 1420?
Yeah.
I
Well,
move, resolution 1420 for adoption.
I'd like to make,
I'm
I think
sorry,
I was sponsoring the legislation.
it was sponsored by Council Vice President, so it has have to ask what her pleasure is. I apologize.
Did she make the motion, Mr. President?
No, you did.
She's got to make the motion.
I'm asking her now if she would like to because it's sponsored by her.
Fine, fine. It doesn't make any difference to me. Go ahead.
Ooh. Okay. I move that we move this legislation.
Sponsor and move for its adoption. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm looking at too many different things here. And it's just,
Second.
it's not complete.
Oh, no, is that a motion?
Yes.
I move, and like I said, I'm looking at too many things here. I move that we adopt this resolution, I move to adopt the resolution. What am I saying? I move to accept the resolution and adopt it as we need.
You've got to state the resolution number. Come on, this is
I don't
elementary.
have a resolution number. Okay, I'm just.
You have to state it.
I got
You can't
two or
say
three
you move.
things in
We
front
don't
of
know
me.
what you're moving. Say, I move resolution 1420. Is that
I
difficult to
don't have.
do?
That's what I'm saying to you. I am looking
Okay.
at several different documents, and none of them seem to be complete.
Can you see it?
She had taken this resolution situation thing down.
Can you-
So,
Brother Council President, can I have a second, please, so I can help it? Can I co-sponsor resolution number 1420?
yes.
Okay, great. I like, and can I assist with the motion, please?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to sponsor resolution number 1420 and move for its adoption.
Wait a minute. Isn't this Corrine's, didn't the president say this was Corrine's resolution? Austin? Come on.
We just
Sponsor
We
co-sponsored.
can do that.
Would you like to
Please.
co-sponsor? Would you like to co-sponsor, Councilman Martin?
I'm fine, but the president said that he leaned toward Corrine. This is her resolution. Let her act on it. She's been up here long enough to do that.
Wow.
Please.
Wait a minute.
Anybody can sponsor the resolution. It's
Yeah,
okay.
but she,
You got it.
the
It's a motion on the floor,
president
Councilman.
leaned toward her and said this was her
It's a
resolution.
motion on the
So
floor.
why come she can't do her own resolution? Come on.
We're a team, and we did that. It's okay.
We in this together, brother. It's okay. Everything all right. Everything all right.
Right.
Everything all right. Would you like to co-sponsor, Councilman Martin?
Yeah, I'll co-sponsor it.
Okay. Now, would you like to sponsor and move for its adoption? No problem. If you would
No,
like-
I thought you wanted Corrine, but if you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Please.
There's already a motion on the floor.
What?
Second.
Second motion.
Are we ready to act? I'll act on it so we can move on.
Everybody's waiting for a second.
Waiting.
I'll second it.
Guy,
Counselor Austin,
Yay.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yay.
Counselor Martin,
We're voting on resolution 1420?
yes.
Okay, let me ask you this before we go to 1420. Are we going to go to 1520? Isn't it both the same thing? It looks like to me, no difference.
No, they're not the same, Counselor.
They're not?
No, sir.
Okay, yay.
Counselor Smith.
Yay.
Okay, resolution number 14-20 has been passed as amended with Counselor Martin and Counselor Austin as co-sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. We can move
So
on.
wait a minute, point of clarification. Did we vote on the amendment or did we vote on the resolution? It's two different things.
Did both of those.
Okay. You know, because I'm hearing you going in and out and whatever. Goodness gracious.
We did both of them.
Okay, let's move on then.
Okay, can you see the resolution on the screen?
Yeah, 1520. I see
Resolution.
2 lawnmowers, right?
Let me just clarify because everything took place over the weekend. So you number of copies because everything was done Friday and Saturday. So 15-20, a resolution in the mayor sale certain operable surplus vehicles to auction, to scrap dealers, or to sell the South City vehicles through competitive offers and declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare. Requested by the Service Department and sponsored by Francis Stevenson, Council Vice President.
Resolution number 15-20 bears the name of Council Vice President Corinne Stevenson. What is your pleasure?
I move to adopt resolution 1520, and I move for its adoption.
I second the motion.
Any discussion or anything before we move on?
Hearing no discussion, we can call for the vote, please.
Councilor,
I had one question,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
President.
Yes, ma'am.
As we sell these vehicles and all of this stuff, where does this money go?
General fund. Money goes in the general fund.
Money's going to out of money.
Unless monies are restricted, you have maybe 1 or 2 funds, but basically all money goes into the general fund. So the sales from these vehicles will go into the general fund.
Okay. All right.
okay, Councilor Austin,
Yay.
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
and Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Okay, resolution number 15-20 has passed. Okay,
We'll move on to resolution number 16-20.
I'm sorry, that's the word. One of the legislation. Okay, resolution number 16-20, a resolution passed by the city of East Cleveland, Ohio, affirming that funds from the county coronavirus relief distribution fund will be expended only to cover the cost of the city of East Cleveland, Ohio, consistent with the requirements of section 5001 of the CARES Act as described in 42 USC 601D and any applicable regulations as is necessary pursuant to HB 481 before receiving said funds and declaring an emergency requested by the mayor, sponsored by Ernest L. Smith, Council President.
I'd like to pass the gavel to Council Vice President Corinne Stevenson.
Councilman Smith, this legislation bears your name. What is your pleasure?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to sponsor resolution number 16-20 and move for its adoption.
I second the motion.
Thank you. This is the COVID-19 funds that the city that is well needed in the city.
Mr. President and the other council people, I'd just like to, from the administration or from the law director, get a summary of what is section 5001 of the CARES Act. What is it saying and how much money is involved in this particular legislation?
So, US 6001 is, that is a long explanation.
Can you summarize it, Mr. Smedley?
That this CARES Act money has restrictions on using it. And it has to be used for, one, it has to be set up in a separate restricted fund, and it has to be used for coronavirus-related expenditures. And the fact that it comes from the U.S. Treasury, the laws about how to manage it could lead to criminal prosecution if you don't do it correctly, or if you misuse it.
So if we use the money to maintain police officers or use the money to maintain firefighters, is that appropriate?
In our estimation and the estimation of the mayors and managers around the state of Ohio, yes.
Okay. How much is the money? What's the amount of the money involved?
2.4 million coming via local government fund from the feds to the state, to the county, to the municipality.
Oh, so who monitors this? Is it the county or the state that monitors the spending? How do they make sure we're doing the right thing?
It's monitored, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, it's monitored by the county. Our reporting goes to the county, Charles?
No, actually, from what I'm reading, there's no, because this thing is moving pretty fast, there's no initial reporting requirements at this time, but it will be audited. And it does state that in the long documented bill that it will come back to be audited like all the other funds. And so that's when.
By the county or by the state, Charles?
It'll be audited by our auditors that come from the state.
Okay, the state auditor's office will audit the administration of these funds.
All right.
That's what I meant by reporting.
Okay, I'm all right with it. I'd like for the record, Dr. Guy, to be a co-sponsor with the council president on this legislation.
Noted.
Thank you. I'm ready to move on, Mr. President.
Thank you. Dr. Guy, call for the vote, please.
Hey, Councilor Austin.
Yeah, I want to also co-sponsor.
Okay, noted.
Thank you.
Councilor Stevenson.
Yeah, Councilor Stevenson got some questions.
I didn't hear you, Councilor.
Yay. I'm gonna vote yay on this legislation, but when I come back after July, we're gonna have to do better because I cannot function with all these different pieces of paper and a lack of information. So.
Councilor Martin.
Yay. And I'll add that this is good to get this kind of money in our city to help our our safety forces, and this is a good thing. I just make sure in the administration, and I say this with humility, make sure we spend the money right. That's so we don't get into no trouble. Thank you.
But how can you spend the money right when you don't have a parameter for operation from the overseer, for lack of a better term, number one? And I think my question that I need to ask at this time is, if you don't have those things from the county or whoever the head official is governing these funds, what are the city's parameters for this kind of thing? Because the city should also have parameters where you check your own self. So that's all I just.
Well, I think what you said is well noted, and I'm hopeful, and I feel that the administration would know what they need to do, because this is federal money, so you don't want to get into no thing with them. So I hope they cross the T's and dot the I's on this. Otherwise, I'm all right with it.
Council President, can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
I remember reading some information before these funds were released about the use of these funds and what they can be used for. And they basically said they can be used for anything that causes the city to spend money, almost like a reimbursement.
Okay,
So
but
those things that the COVID-19 may have an influence or impact, those are those. If it can be tied to support treatment, that was my understanding. Thank you.
But you still need parameters of operation, things, the policies that govern how you roll this money out, what your practices are, what the procedure is, that kind of stuff.
I support 100%, Madam Vice. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Resolution number 16-20 is passed.
Council President, may we comment on this now?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
So when all the CARES Act money was being distributed around the nation, municipalities, local governments, state governments were fighting to make sure CARES Act money came to municipalities. It went to businesses, it went to individuals. You all, if you made under 75,000, got a check for $1,200. So all over the country, because of the loss of revenues, municipalities have been fighting to get this money. When they actually passed it, when they actually passed the resolution on the federal level to get it to municipalities, and then when the state assembly got it to talk about its distribution, it came with a standard piece of legislation that all municipalities must pass in order to qualify to get the money. So whether all the rules are written, this is only to demonstrate to the state that the city's legislative body will accept $2.4 million. So we have extensive experience with federal dollars because we have community development block grant funds and we have home funds. So we're very capable of administering federal dollars. But this piece of legislation allows for them to give us the money. It doesn't spell out all of what needs to be done in order to expend the money. This allows them to give us the money. And every legislature in the state of Ohio who will receive this money have already passed this piece of legislation. We're late in the game getting it passed. So whatever rules and the U.S. Code and the Ohio Revised Code, it all explains what this money is supposed to do. What we'll do is send you the information that we currently have. And Councilman Austin, you're absolutely correct. It's whatever is any expenditures related to COVID-19 that the city had to spend can be reimbursed. Any future expenditures that we believe are associated with addressing COVID is also covered under this money. The CARES Act has been around for quite a long time. Director Hemmons, please send them corresponding information about the CARES Act and about these monies. Send them the state, the legislation from the state that created this fund to come through local government funds, and you'll be up to speed. But this piece of legislation is simply to allow us to accept it, not necessarily explaining how to expend it, because it's already in the code. Thank you.
So let me jump in. So thank you for passing this very important piece of legislation. I know we brought this in front of you maybe a month ago, but they hadn't given us the correct language in order to pass this legislation. I can appreciate that a couple counselors are new to this, so they don't understand or they haven't experienced how sometimes things come at us and we simply have to act accordingly to then move it forward. So with this, we actually had to go on the website and register as a vendor with the state, with the Department of the Treasury, to accept this money. We did that maybe 3 weeks ago, waiting for this thing to pass through the final hurdles and then pass the legislation. And we're still waiting on clarity on how to use it. So we're not the only city that's sitting in this position. All cities are sitting in this position. We actually have a conference call later on this week, which will give us more clarity on how to use it. So again, I'd like to thank you for passing it and allowing us to move this forward.
And if I can jump in real quick, I'm asking Dr. Guy if I could share my screen. Bill 481 is 177 pages. They amended Bill 481 and added this CARES Act piece of legislation. And so, as Chief of Staff mentioned, we can send it to you. It's 177 pages, so you have to know exactly where to go in the bill to find the answers. But as he also stated, it just referenced just being able to get the money, not necessarily, it's pretty generic in the sense of it's used for care for coronavirus relief. And that's pretty much it. There's probably a little bit more details. As the mayor says, some things maybe some more clarity coming on the way, but right now we don't have any money. So right now we won't get anything until we pass this resolution.
Well, we passed it, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want you to waste your time with 177 pages for all of us. Maybe if I can suggest, Council President and Vice President and the rest of the council, give one document, put it in the office, and somebody have it for a day or whatever. But to give all 5 of us 177 pages is a waste of paper. Okay.
I wasn't printed.
All right. I hope that they feeling me where I'm coming with that. All of us don't need 177 pages of this. We didn't pass it now anyway. Just give us one copy that could be placed, that we can read and be placed in the office. Okay?
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Guy, move on, please.
Okay. We are at
Ordinance number.
Ordinance number 13-20. An ordinance amending Part 13 is the second read, amending Part 13, Title 3 of the Building and Code of Codified Ordinance of the East Cleveland in order to authorize certain fee changes or building permit and registration.
Ordinance number 13-20 bears the name of Councilman Tim Austin. What is your pleasure?
I'd like to sponsor and move for its adoption.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
No.
Councilor Austin?
Yay.
Councilor Stevenson? Is Councilor Stevenson there?
Is she there?
Let's see, is she?
I can't hear her.
It looks like she's.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
Let me- I don't see her on. I think she. Councilor Martin,
Yay. Oh, she got.
Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Okay, I don't know what happened. So she's off. So I don't know if we want to try to get her back on because you need that to pass legislation.
It's not an emergency.
Oh,
It's a second
yeah, we're
reading.
good. Okay, so we're good. But I don't know if you want to try to get her back on.
Yeah, we can try
There
to
is
get her.
another emergency on here. There's another piece of legislation
Yeah,
that.
this is fine. Second read. So this one passed at any rate. Okay. You want to move on, Counselor?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we have ordinance number 16-20. An ordinance amending Part 13, Title 11, Section 1381.03 of the Building Code of the Codified Ordinances of East Cleveland in order to update contractor registration fees requested by the Building and Housing Department and sponsored by Timothy R. Austin, Counselor at Large. This is a second read.
Ordinance number 16-20 bears the name of Councilman Timothy R. Austin. What is your pleasure, sir?
Council President, I'd like to sponsor ordinance number 16-20 and move for its adoption.
I second the motion.
Counselor Austin.
Austin?
Yay!
Well, no, you ain't voting yet. There's some discussion. I got a question on the legislation.
Okay.
Okay, it says the update contractors registration fees. This is for the administration. What's the difference in the what the prices, have the prices changed, and just give us a summary what the prices are now for the registration fees. 16-20. 16-20.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Council President. So this we talked about extensively at the Contracts and Property Thursday. Dr. Guy, is it possible you can put the legislation or you can put this information that he's asking for on the screen? I know it was given to council a number of times going back to last year, and Mel Rand Leach, the Director of Community Development, was on the phone and did clarify a lot of this last week.
Well, last week, we couldn't get through and we got muted out, so I didn't hear none of it. So
this is
I don't
something
want to
that we
hold it
talked
up, but
about.
I need to see what I'm voting on. So I just need to, I know you said registration fee, so there's been a change. I need to know what the change is.
This goes back to last year.
Mhm.
He actually presented it last year, was working on it, changing a lot of the fees, raising some and streamlining others so that the process wouldn't be as cumbersome, and that it would get us up to a 2021 fee assessment that's more in line.
Which sounds good. I just need to know how the fees are going to change, so I can deal with this thing intelligently. When somebody asks me a question, well, the contract and registration fees were, say 2019 and with this, now in 2020 with this legislation, they're that. I need you to be able to do a comparison so I can deal with it intelligently. That's it.
Councilman, I have the Community Development Director on his way up now. He's bringing the paperwork. He'll answer all your questions.
Okay, if he has a copy, he can drop it off right here. If you got to pass me to get up to you, I'm right here in the council office. Thank you.
I have the fees up, or I don't know if there's anything else, but this is what.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing it says registration prior to starting any work within the city was 100. Now it says registration after starting work would be 200. Registration fee 11 days to 30 days after notification, 400. And the registration 31 days or more after notification, ordinance 169-99 passed 12/21/19, I guess 91, $1,000. So are these new fees? Are these the new fees here?
Some of them are new fees. Many of them are not new structures to the fee. So what you're looking at on paper versus what you're looking at in the city, and we've all been here on Saturday and Sunday and see somebody just putting a roof up, right? Somebody build something, and we know that they didn't pull a permit. So some of those fees, when you look at the days, they give you a number of days to then come in and pull your permit.
Okay.
And if you do, you get the regular fee. But if you're not pulling it, and if you still don't come in and do it after a certain amount of days, then that fee escalates. So that's what you're reading when you just read that.
And I see it now in bold. I can see it much better now. The fee that was 100 is changed to 150. The fee that was 200 is changed to 300, and going down. I can see it in bold, the increases now. I think the other ones can see it too. Thank you.
Yeah, and we need that. So there he is.
Yeah, Mr. Leach is here with me. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
he
in
can
good
answer your
hands
questions
now.
right from there.
So you have a question?
No, I got it now. You got a copy of it? I like to keep a hard. If not, I
get one back there.
Would you? Okay, appreciate it. I ain't hold you. Thank you, bro. All right.
Go ahead, Mel. While you're there, you can answer the questions.
Go ahead.
So which one are we on?
Okay, well, here it is right here. What's your question? You laughing, Austin?
You had the question, Councilman.
No, I got it. I see it now. I see where the ones up there, I can see the increase, one from 100 to 150, one to 300. I see it now, so I'm ready to act on it. I'm all right. Okay, I'm in good hands. The administration is good.
All right. Started for the vote, please.
Okay, Councilor Austin.
I think legislation. I like to sponsor legislation, move for its adoption, and if it's vote time, I say yay.
I'll second the motion. We got to have a second before you can move on, Mr. Austin. My learned colleagues.
Yeah, I had you as a second. So you got Councilor Austin, yay. Councilor Stevenson, I don't see her back on the line yet. Councilor Martin.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Councilor Smith.
Yay.
Okay, so this legislation is passed.
Can you hear me down here?
And we need thank you all.
Councilor Smith, are you in touch with Councilor Stevenson?
I
Vote on the last piece of legislation.
Yes, we need it. We need her. We need her for the last piece.
Okay, I did send her a text. Let me see if I can try to call her.
Excuse me, Councilor.
On the line.
Are we on 1620 while you still have Melran available? If you had questions for 1620 while he's still there.
He's still here, guys. If any questions, Mr. Austin, Corrine.
I'm clear.
I'm clear. I'm just trying to call her.
Brother Smith?
Yes, I'm clear. Thank you, sir.
All right, I'm ready to vote on it.
We already passed it.
Okay, well, let's move on. We're in 2020 now?
I thought that was 1320.
Yeah, he said we passed that already. What about, I thought we just passed 1620, right?
Yes, we passed 1620. We had 2020, which we need our council vice president back on the line.
That's a standard piece, isn't it, Mr. President?
Yes, sir. But
Come
by
on,
being
let's move on this. We ain't gonna wait around on her.
We need 4 council people to pass it.
emergency, we need 4.
You straight. Thank you. Take care. I'll be down to see you sometime so I can be educated, all right?
We can hear you laughing, Counselor Martin. So we can hear you laughing, Counselor Martin.
All right.
I'm just trying to reach Counselor Stevenson again.
Is she back now?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We might have to schedule a special council meeting for later today or tomorrow morning for this piece of legislation. I know it's very important.
No, we can wait a few more minutes and we here now.
Oh, we can definitely wait. We can definitely wait. No problem.
Y'all back on the line.
I might also, you may have to go up there on where she live at, knock on the door.
No response yet. A text her and call her.
What happened to her?
She just popped off the line. I don't know. I don't know if it's something on her end.
That's the last. This is the last piece of legislation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all for patiently waiting. That's the situation with these Zoom calls.
May be over there. Okay.
So they have 2 sessions today just to make sure that all the police get this. There's no volunteering to do this. This is a mandatory training. That's not an OPATA training. So this is by the city, and it's something that, as elected officials, Councilman Martin, Councilman Smith, Councilman Austin, we've been talking about this for years.
Right, right.
Just now finally got it done. We actually signed the contract, been working on this about 10 months now through Dr. Dunn down at Cleveland State, who is a renowned specialist in sensitivity training with safety forces, that's police and fire, EMS. So we're really excited about today. So it'll be going on today, 8 and then 1, and then tomorrow, 8 and 1, just so that we can get all of the officers through this training. So again, I extend all council to go over and have a sit down and see how the training's going. Absolutely have a couple words if you have some, that would be great as well. I'd also like to take a moment to mention the food pantry tomorrow. We got a new location. We're over at the Chambers. Excuse me. For this particular pantry, we have 3 partners and a number of donations from some big sponsors. Our partners for this, again, will be the Cleveland Food Bank, Sun, and Gordon Foods. I'd like to thank the McGregor. I'd like to thank the judge. Again, we're still thanking all of you who've helped us. And I'd like to thank Swaitslock. That's been very helpful in volunteering. I'd like to tell you to stay tuned. If you want to come out tomorrow, we actually could use some help tomorrow, as we will have out some of this stuff ourselves. I know the last food pantry came pre-boxed. This one, we're gonna have to box it. Will be at Chambers, which is just next to the fire department on Shaw. Oh yeah. Let me tell you this. Because of these partners and the relationships, we'll have the standard fruits and vegetables. We'll have meat coming from Gordon, and then Sanson will be providing the dairy, which is some milk and cheese. And a lot of people last time we had chocolate milk, and they love that chocolate milk. So to be a pretty good pantry tomorrow. Please come out.
Is this the one that you deliver to seniors?
Yeah.
Or this is, huh?
Yeah, so we'll be delivering to seniors as well as taking it into some of the residential neighborhoods and going door to door again.
All right. Where did Corinne go?
I don't know, but let me say that's awesome. Want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that, and also really thank you for the invite. As you can see, you already see why I couldn't make it this morning. Right. Try to make it at 1, depending on what time her moms come home. But I really want to thank you for that initiative, for that training. That's a great thing, especially if it was city initiated. I love it. Thank you.
Yes.
Councilor Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
I got in touch with Councilor Stevens, and she's going to try to get back on the line for this last piece of legislation. Got kicked off.
Ma'am. How was everyone's Father's Day?
I had a great one.
Father's Day was great. Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, happy belated Father's Day.
How are you?
Thank you.
Even though we only get one day.
I'm in a meeting right now on this Zoom. That's why I'm even here. So you gotta call me back in about a half
I will
hour.
want to mention also to the council while we're waiting.
All right, thank you.
This last week, we put out the RFP or the bid for the solid waste collection, as our contract with Rumpke is going to expire August of this year. And so we'll be asking, once we get the bids to go through that process, we'll be bringing it to council for approval of whoever we select. And so when that time comes, I know we talked about the summer sessions and the possibility to do another special meeting, but we definitely will once the bid process is done. The bid opening will be on July 6th. So,
the bid, I got the phone ring. I had to answer something. What is the bid again about?
For the solid waste collection.
Oh, okay. Brandon King and Michael Smedley, what's going on with the training, the Special Purpose Grant 33? What's going on? Is that on hold because of the pandemic or what?
It's on hold because of the pandemic.
All right.
People in the room, and this type of training is not to be done via Zoom or any of these internet-based meeting vehicles. So once the COVID stuff allows for people to get into a room, then we'll reinstitute the Special Purpose Grant Training Program.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I was wondering what was going on with that since we've been talking about this training. And thanks again, Mayor and administration for the training. There was a guy there who had 33 years experience from another police department. So I was encouraging other council people to try to make the training. It's definitely some good training. Thank you all upstairs there.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. We're still waiting on Corinne?
Yeah, I suggest that she just call me back. So
Well,
we
what
can
happened?
vote. She must be having technical trouble on her.
Oh, okay.
I just got a okay. So she's gonna either call Counselor Smith or myself back.
So are we ready to vote on this last piece? So we this is important. You heard what the great Charles I Am said. So are we ready? Huh? Doc, are we ready to vote on this? You got her vote?
Well, she's gonna call Counselor Smith or myself. So I don't know, Counselor Smith, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, come on, let's get this
I
done.
have to call you, so at least her vote can be recorded.
Right. So, Mr. President, let's move on this.
We just waiting on her to call.
Well, no, she may not call. She can call and get a vote to Dr. Guy. She told Dr. Guy on the phone and she's all right with it, right, Dr. Guy?
But she can't do it like that.
Yeah.
No, it has to be recorded.
It was, yeah, we
can have her.
Well,
Council President.
I've got her on the line.
people staff.
I've got her on the line.
Okay, let's go.
Stevenson. Hello? Okay, okay, I'm gonna read the last piece of legislation and then you all can vote. Okay, we're at ordinance number 20-20, emergency, and ordinance allowing that the 2021 alternative tax budget information be provided to the County Budget Commission so that the city can be eligible for waiver of the Ohio Revised Code 5705.23 requirement that a political subdivision adopt a tax budget and declaring an emergency in order to meet the county's July 20th, 2020 deadline for the information to be submitted to the county fiscal officer requested by the.
Thank you. I have to pass the gavel to Council Vice President.
Okay.
Mr. President, you can pass the gavel to anybody. Come on, let's get this done.
Hold on, Councilor Martin. Councilor Stevenson is speaking.
All right.
Councilor Smith, this legislation bears your name. What is your question?
Thank you. I'd like to sponsor ordinance number 20-20 and move for its adoption. I mean, yeah, sponsor dash 20-20 and move for its adoption.
I second the motion.
Okay, Councilor Austin?
Yeah.
Councilor Stevenson?
Yay.
Councilor Smith?
Yay.
Councilor Austin?
Councilor Martin.
Let's say Councilor Martin.
Are you calling my name now, Dr. Khadija Guy?
Councilor Martin.
Yes, I know you forget about me, but I'm still here.
I can't hardly forget about you, Councilor.
All
right. This legislation is passed.
All right. So are we through now?
Yes, with this portion, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Unless you want to make a motion to skip everything else, Councilman Martin.
Huh? What'd you say, Mr. President?
I was asking you, would you like to make a motion to skip comments?
Yes, I move that we skip the comments.
Do we have a second?
Come on, Austin, get on it.
Okay, hearing no second, we move on to comments from Mayor Brandon L. King.
Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your summer. I'm sure I'll see you guys sooner than that. But great meeting. Thanks for passing this legislation and having it. That concludes my report, unless you have any questions or comments.
Thank you, Mayor King. Councilman Austin.
Greetings all. I want to tell you thank you for all you do. And I also reverberate have a safe break, safe summer, and continue to put the work in required to continue to move the city in the right direction. And to our residents, we appreciate all you do. That's all I have.
Thank you, good Councilman. Councilman Nathaniel Martin.
Yeah, briefly, very briefly. We're experiencing some very historical events in our country. We have to stay focused. We have to do the right thing. And I'm asking all you guys to do the right thing. I know it's in your heart, Austin. Bring it out. I know it's in your heart, Brandon King. Bring it out. I know it's in your heart, Corrine Stephen. Bring it. Khadijah God. I know it's in your heart. Do the right thing. I've spoken. Thank you.
Service first thing in the morning.
All right.
Vice President. Council Vice President still on the line?
No, she's off the line.
Oh, okay.
Did she vote on 2020?
Yeah, she voted.
Yes, she
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I want to thank you.
You guys have a
all.
good day.
Yeah, thank you all. Happy belated Father's Day. Keep the little girl in you all prayers that was shot in her head yesterday in the city of East Cleveland. And I just pray for you all and thank you very much. I not entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We adjourned at 11:36. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Take care.